Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Informed in Five. Today's guest is Rachel Claire Franklin, and she joins me to share information about the Alliance Project and how they are impacting the lives of individuals facing mental health challenges across the state. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. As mentioned, my name is Rachel Claire Franklin, and I am the licensed training and response clinician for the Alliance Project here in Mississippi. The Alliance Project is housed under a Garrett Lee Smith suicide prevention grant for youth throughout the state of Mississippi. And what this project is allowing us to do is travel anywhere within the state of Mississippi and provide free trainings for suicide prevention and suicide postvention trainings. Also housed under this project, we are able to respond to communities when there is a death by suicide of an individual around maybe 20 and younger. And so what happens is when a death by suicide occurs in a community can contact our team and say, hey, we would like some additional support from some people who may have postvention knowledge, expertise, maybe can help us implement best practices. And so we're able to provide all three of those resources for any community in the state of Mississippi for free. Right now, we are doing face-to-face presentations where safe and feasible, and we're also doing our trainings virtually at this time. And so we're able to provide our trainings to you and your community through Zoom, WebEx, whatever kind of your preferred platform method is. And so what I'll do is I'll take a few minutes to kind of talk about our prevention program. The Alliance Project Suicide Prevention Training is for anyone. And so you don't have to have mental health training or any kind of background in mental health or intervention services or anything like that. This curriculum is brand new, and it was actually written for and designed for individuals who do not have any mental health training at all. And so I kind of like to present our training program as a training where if you're interested in helping people that you care about that may be experiencing distress, this is a great training for you. It's not very language heavy for mental health. It's very kind of day-to-day, very applicable skills and strategies that you can use to help when intervening with people who you may be concerned about. If you have had a history of suicide prevention training, this training would look very different for you. As I mentioned, it is a brand new curriculum, and it was kind of written and formulated by Dr. Michael Nadorf at Mississippi State University, along with some other collaborators and coworkers. And the three main reasons why they felt we needed a new training program was for sustainability issues, cost. A lot of individuals in Mississippi don't really have the means to go out and pay $500 to get trained in suicide prevention. The other thing is skill retention. And what we found in the research was that a lot of individuals were not very comfortable asking about suicide specifically. And so we teach you how to do that without saying those really scary things. The other thing is use active learning strategies. And the thing that we're able to do with utilizing learning strategies is to give you role plays and examples and walk you through applicable scenarios that you may encounter in your day-to-day life, and give time to kind of talk and walk through, hey, what would we do if this was the scenario? How might you approach this individual? How might you approach an individual that you know really well versus how you might approach someone in a random grocery store or a park that you've never met before, that you may have an idea or feeling that they may be experiencing something. So our overall goal really is just to build a community of gatekeeper collaborators and offer specialized training modules for any individual within the state of Mississippi. We visit educational settings. We've been to several faith organizations. We do parent-teacher association meetings. We will literally provide a training for anyone in the state of Mississippi who's interested. We've also provided them for various workplaces, employment. We've gone to individual small groups within home settings, community center settings, anywhere that any individual wants to meet to kind of get more comfortable with engaging with those in distress. We're able to provide, again, all of those services free of charge. So we know that there's a great mental health need in Mississippi. We know that there's not enough mental health providers throughout our state. And so one reason why we want to really disseminate this training program throughout the state is that we need our community members to help get individuals in distress to us. We know that a lot of Mississippi is rural, and even with the growth of telehealth, we know that not everyone is able to access those resources as well. And so in Mississippi, we know that there is a growing number of suicide deaths. While we may not be the first in the nation, we are certainly not last in the nation. And one thing that Mississippians do really well is that we take really good care of each other. And sometimes we could take even better care of each other if we knew just a few skills or a few interventions that we could utilize with people within our direct communities. And we also know that there's a great need. If you think back to tragedies that have happened in our state, whether it be hurricanes, tornadoes, most recently, we've had a lot of house fires, apartment building fires, and things like that. And one way that we want to kind of help engage our community members is kind of understanding and knowing how to talk to people about those specific types of tragedies and just holding space for people. In Mississippi, we know, again, there's not enough mental health care providers, but we also know that sometimes a resource can be 30 to 45 minutes away. And so sometimes you might be the most valuable person that someone interacts with, maybe in their entire life. And so if we can kind of give you a few phrases or skills to intervene, you may potentially, help us in saving someone's life by being able to do that in rural Mississippi where resources aren't always accessible. Also approved as one of the appropriate K through 12 suicide prevention programs. And so our training program can count for the suicide prevention requirement that is required for all K through 12 educators in the state. Our funding comes from the federal grant. It's a Garrett Lee Smith Youth Suicide Prevention Grant. And so it's a grant that was awarded in conjunction with the Mississippi Department of Mental Health. And our team is responsible for the training program implementation. And then we have a few community mental health agencies that are also assisting in the grant project and doing school-based intervention and assessment services.
How can people contact the Alliance Project to get more information or to tap into the resources that y'all have available?
Yeah, so to access any of our resources, you can go to www.msualliance.com, and you can also contact us via our email address at msuallianceproject@gmail.com. You can also contact us by calling 601-503-6905, and please leave a voicemail if the phone is not answered upon your call. I wanted to add, you also can watch both of our training program presentations on YouTube on our Alliance YouTube channel. And so you can access that by just searching on YouTube, the Alliance Project, and you'll see it pop up, and you'll see Mississippi State University as well there. And so we're trying to build our presence on YouTube as well, but you can find kind of a generic presentation for our prevention training and our postvention training there on YouTube.
Thank you so much for coming on today and sharing this very useful information. And I will be sure to put all of this contact information, links, very easily accessible in the post with this video, so anyone can access it there. So again, thank you so much for coming on today, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.